So let's welcome in Charles Davis again, who will be on the call for 49ers and Panthers going down Sunday afternoon on CBS. Charles, let's look at these two teams and their offenses because both of them toward the bottom of the league in a number of categories here. You have Baker Mayfield. Yes, okay, so he's getting to kind of know this team a little bit, but we're heading into week 5. Jimmy G, look, this is his old team. He never left. What's going on with these offenses?
Lack of continuity, Amanda, and I think you expressed it pretty well right there with these quarterbacks, both of them starting the season in different places, although by now we shouldn't have this conversation, especially for Baker Mayfield. We're well past, the time of, hey, it's a new team, it's a new start, it's a new beginning. Look, he got through preseason. He was there for that. Jimmy G, on the flip side, was around, but not part of it. Remember, when they were on the field, he was in the weight room. When they were in the weight room, he was on the field. When they were meeting, he wasn't there. Not until late in the process. So his preseason happened when the regular season began. But the continuity part, we're not seeing it at all. Baker Mayfield is not connected quite well with his outside receivers. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall. That's not happening very well. He's getting too many passes batted down at the line of scrimmage. Leads the league in that category. I think he had 5 just this past Sunday against Arizona. So they just haven't met up. It hasn't knitted up very well yet. Christian McCaffrey, he's run the ball well at times, but they haven't gotten him integrated to the passing game as much. Flip it over to Jimmy G. Last night was probably his best performance, but it still took a Deebo Samuel taking the ball away from an interception and then breaking about 85 tackles and getting to the end zone to turn it into their biggest play. They've got to get George Kittle more involved at tight end, and Jimmy G's got to get to that point where he feels more comfortable, but that also means that offensive line has got to get healthy. He doesn't have a lot of his key players, including the best left tackle in the game in Trent Williams.
Charles, let's talk a little bit more about Baker Mayfield because this week the 49ers could definitely add to his problems. I looked up Baker Mayfield and the headlines regarding him because I wanted to see what they were. Not pretty. Honeymoon ends. He's the problem the Panthers can't ignore. Self-bet is a bust. How much pressure is on Baker heading into week 5?
A ton. And it's not something he didn't expect. But I suspect, and I can't wait to actually talk with him, I suspect that he thought that he would have solved a lot of that by now, because the Baker Mayfield I knew as a freshman at Texas Tech, there's not much difference between that one and the one we know now, because he always figured he would figure it out, and he usually did. So far, they have not, and I think that's been a little bit of a surprise, because when you look at this Panthers offense in total, I think we're all impressed, Amanda. You got playmakers out on the perimeter. You got one of the better running backs in the league when he's healthy in Christian McCaffrey. You got an offensive line that continues to get better. And they made some nice moves in the offseason, bringing in Austin Corbett, drafting Ike Ekwonu at left tackle. Brady Christensen last year was drafted. They moved him in at guard. Taylor Moton's a good right tackle. So they've got everything you're looking for. Why are they not clicking better? That's a huge, huge question mark for them. And, of course, the quarterback's going to be the focal point of all of that.
I'm sure Baker Mayfield, this will make him feel a lot better. I just got a text from my mother, who is a massive Baker Mayfield fan. Why are you hating on Baker Mayfield? He needs to perform better. That is why.
Amanda, tell your mom, and I will tell her, look, your daughter is not hating on Baker Mayfield, but I will tell you this. When you ask those questions, and Baker, if he hears it, he will turn it into that fuel that he loves. I always teased him about, Baker, my guess is you had a hit list from the time you were in the 6th grade. And he would usually give me a little grin and say, he'd do this. He'd go, 4th. I mean, he doesn't forget anything, okay? That's how he works. That's always been his fuel, and that's what gets him going. But right now, even that has not gotten him to where he wants to be. Could this weekend be the breakout? So far, we haven't seen the evidence of it. He's missed open guys. They haven't, as I said before, the continuity hasn't been there on offense. Too many passes getting batted down, which is a surprise because he's always operated at this height. There's nothing different going on with that. They've just got to get it figured out. They better figure it out quickly against the 49ers defense is pretty darn good.
Especially if he wants to keep that job. We've always said he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. He has a boulder. Maybe it would be better to remove that and he'd feel a little bit better here. Look, do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.